Wishing you all a joyful Monday. Pleasure to have you back with us. A tale that has startled Christians worldwide is about to be told. A letter penned by Daystar Television Network founder Marcus Lamb was recently made public. In the event that he were to pass away unexpectedly, it reveals his final desires for Daystar's future. Worse yet, the accusations and leadership disputes that this letter has sparked have further strained the Lamb family and the church as a whole. Get ready to be captivated by this story that will leave you wanting more. Pastor Miles Monroe, his wife and their co-workers were killed in a terrible plane crash in 2014. Not long after Marcus Lamb wrote the message to Daystar executive Tom Sender. Marcus muses on the precariousness of life and shares his plans for Daystar's future in the event that he and his wife Joni perish in an aircraft disaster on their impending mission trip to Singapore and Australia. Let's dissect it. The horrific murder of Pastor Miles Monroe obviously had a profound impact on Marcus as he begins by discussing this. After that, he lays out the entire strategy for running Daystar and names the people who will be responsible for it. His writing looks like this. Good day, Tom. Being an affiliate of Word of God Fellowship, Inc., last Sunday, an aircraft crash claimed the lives of Pastor Miles Monroe, his wife, and his deputy. That is why Joni and I would like to give you these directions. My companion Joni and I are leaving for a mission trip today. First, we'll be ministering in Singapore to Joseph Prince, and then we'll be visiting Hillsong in Australia. I wanted to lay out the following plan of action in case anything happened to Joni and me. The following individuals have been nominated to serve as board members of Word of God Fellowship, Inc. Rothschild, Jonathan, Rachel, Rebecca, and Rothschild all figure prominently. Jonathan Lamb should be elected president. The Bible specifies that the oldest member of a group should serve as head. After a year, Daystar should sell the airtime for the Table Talk show to generate revenue. This might lead to a decrease in production. Data entry, shipping, and even part of Daystar's prayer department are all tasks that could be outsourced. Currently, we are able to do without as many full-time staff members providing Christian phone prayer services. It will also be beneficial since a large structure won't be needed. In the long run, this will save insurance, cleaning, energy, and construction expenses by the millions of dollars. You shouldn't hire anyone who wants you to hire too many people so they can relax, whether they're members of your immediate family, friends, or current employees. Watch our TV, please. Cancellation of the contracts should be considered if any profit is even remotely possible. Both Joni and I take great pride in our children's ability to run Daystar with enthusiasm and in their mutual respect for one another's strengths. My girls, Rachel and Rebecca, should carry on the Lamb surname so that others will be able to identify with them. Above all else, your loved ones should always come first, not Daystar or your first mission. Joni and I are unlikely to be affected by anything for quite some time. You will be guided by God, and I have faith in you. God will be glorified through the enduring legacy of the Lamb. When this is over, we will be ready to lend you a hand. Much obliged, Lamb. Marcus Jonathan Lamb, the eldest son of Marcus Lamb, has been nominated to head Daystar as president. He stressed the need of his children cooperating to continue the mission often. However, complications arise at this point. Since Marcus's death in 2021, Jonathan Lamb has been caught in the middle of a vicious family feud. He claims that his mother, Joni Lamb, disregarded his father's wishes and prevented him from taking the lead. Things have gotten even worse between family members due to Jonathan's shocking claims regarding the handling of a sensitive family issue. However, many questions have been raised by this letter that is leaked. Why was Jonathan fired if Marcus Lamb had already indicated that he would succeed him as boss? For some reason, it didn't appear that his father's requests were considered. What does this portend for the future of Daystar? 2 emails, one on August 10th, 2021, and this one in 2014, followed. While their daughter was in court, Jonathan and Susie were fighting for her rights. Arnold Torres, CFO of Daystar, was emailed by Marcus, who also included his 3 children and their spouses. In the event that Marcus were to pass away, the email outlined a succession plan. After his father's death, Jonathan claimed that Marcus and Joni had already informed the entire family that he would succeed him as president of Daystar. However, the email stated that Joni, not Marcus, would be the new president. According to Jonathan, the change was his punishment for trash-talking Pete Marcus. Marcus penned the following letter to the Lamb family, Daystar's leadership, the Word of God Fellowship Board of Directors, and himself. Pay attention. To each and every one of you who means the world to Daystar and me, I am sending this very serious message. I believe I will reach paradise before Joni does because she is younger and women tend to outlive men. I work out, play golf, and watch what I eat since I am not planning to leave anytime soon. I hope to outlive my grandchildren and even their unborn sons so that I can share my wisdom with them. So if I were to pass away before Joni, I would prefer that she become Daystar's leader. Furthermore, I informed Jonathan Lamb that in the event of Joni's death or resignation, he will assume control of Daystar. I am issuing this directive on behalf of Word of God Fellowship, Inc., and the Daystar Television Network, where I am founder, president, and chief executive officer. Like I told Arnold, this email should be included in the official WF Inc. minutes. I would like it formally announced if Tom Callender, Jonathan Lamb, and Joni could all say yes to this choice. Simply responding to this email indicating your agreement is all that is required of the three of you. Every one of you means the world to me. However, the action begins to heat up now. Longtime friend of the Lambs, Denise Boggs, has come forward with disturbing audio evidence. On the recording, Denise recalls a phone call that Marcus gave her 2 days prior to his death. In the hospital, he was surrounded by Joni, Rachel, and Susie Lamb. Denise Boggs is my name. After this meeting, Marcus plans to document his final wishes for Daystar's leadership. Something occurred in the 2 days leading up to Marcus's death. We were friends, and I was familiar with the Lamb family. He was the one who called me when I was on the phone. Also, he said to me, "Miss Denise, I need you to write some things down for me." His daughter contacted me. "Marcus, I'll be pleased to do that," I said. He concluded by saying, "You know, Joni and I built Daystar, but I think it's time for me to say that we did it so the kids could continue it." "Very well," I said. "Was that jotted down?" "Yes," I responded. Then he went on to explain, "Well, first there's our son, Jonathan. It would be more appropriate for him to step in and handle things. He is the first Lamb. And then there's his wife, Susie. She adopted his name, Susie Lamb, and promises to be his support system." "Sure," I said. "Then there's Rachel Lamb Brown," he continued. "She'll be by his side, supporting him as he keeps things running. At this very moment, I must ensure that you are making notes." "That is correct, Marcus. I have it documented." Following that, he mentioned Rebecca Lamwise. Standing with Aaron and her, she will be supporting Jonathan by raising his arms. Her husband, Jonathan Wise, will accompany her so that he can provide assistance. Will you remember to jot that down? His words were uttered. I informed Marcus that I was noting it down. I knew he had forgotten someone when he was through, but I kept quiet because I knew the family had been through a lot. She didn't tell Marcus to leave anyone out, and Denise said his words were clear and well thought out. Now, many are curious about this absence. The daughter of Jonathan and Susie Lamb is the subject of accusations of wrongdoing, and many believe that this is related to Joshua Brown's disappearance. The circumstances and the passage of time make it difficult to disregard despite the lack of official confirmation. The fact that nothing was done according to Marcus's wishes after his death is even more shocking. Nearly 3 years after Marcus passed away, in November 2023, Jonathan was let go from Daystar instead of being promoted to boss. Shocking evidence was presented by Denise Boggs. It is evidence that Marcus Lamb's final desires were not fulfilled. No one promoted Jonathan. Rather, he was dismissed, accused of endangering the ministry, and expelled. Because of this, I have even more doubts about the transparency and honesty of Daystar's current leadership. According to Marcus Lamb, God guided Jonathan as a leader. However, Jonathan is now standing up for what he believes in, the truth, and his position in the church that his father established. Where shall we proceed from here? This leaked letter and Denise Boggs' statement cast doubt on the story we've been told. These things make us question whose job it is to continue Marcus Lamb's work. On a related note, will Jonathan Lamb ever land the job offer from his dad? In this tale, we see the importance of family, religion, and seeking the truth. Even in the church, power struggles and human imperfection can obscure God's will. The truth, however, will never be hidden from view because our God is just. The leaders of Daystar and the Lamb family must now face these realities. Marcus Lamb established a kingdom to honor God, and it is our responsibility to continue his work. Regarding these startling facts, what is your opinion? Would you like Jonathan Lamb to take over Daystar again? Can we expect a resolution to the central accusations in this matter at any point? Commenting on this will allow us to continue the conversation. If you would like to receive more news stories like this one, please subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye for now. We will see you very soon.